Is it possible for a single still photograph to shake the collective memory of millions of people, awaken emotions that have long been locked away, and force us to ask in a half-disbelieving tone, is this Jungkook, or an anime character seemingly brought back to life from the cinema screen? That very question suddenly filled social media timelines in early January 2026, when one portrait of Jungkook BTS from Elle Korea magazine circulated and created an unexpected wave of excitement among ARMY. It was not merely a stir because of his captivating visuals, nor solely due to Jungkook's status as a global icon, but because of one detail that felt strange, emotional, and almost impossible to ignore. A resemblance so strong to Taki Tachibana, the male lead character from the legendary anime film Your Name, Kimi no Na wa. This is where the mystery began. One photograph, one gaze, one soft light falling from the side of Jungkook's face. And instantly the collective memory of anime fans and K-pop fans collided. Jungkook, appearing as the cover star of Elle Korea January 2026 edition, was seen wearing a simple white t-shirt, his black hair falling naturally, with eyes slightly widened as if holding thousands of unspoken words. That expression was not an empty one. There was a tremor of emotion there, a sense of longing, a gentle confusion, an impression of fragility yet strength, emotions that inevitably reminded many people of an iconic scene in Your Name, when Taki stands behind a curtain with soft light enveloping his face, as if time stops at that exact second. This observation, which initially seemed simple, was first shared by a fan on Platform X, the account at Jeong Goldenlight, on January 2, 2026. However, as with many historic moments in the digital era, something that began from a single small post quickly turned into a large conversation. In the upload, the fan admitted to continuously staring at Jungkook's photo, feeling as though they had seen a similar scene before, until finally realizing one name that immediately triggered emotional resonance. Taki from Your Name. That simple sentence became the spark for a broader discussion, because Your Name is not just an ordinary anime film, but a phenomenal work by Makoto Shinkai that has become a symbol of romance, fate, and time-crossing encounters for millions of viewers around the world. The post grew even stronger when at Jeong Goldenlight included a short clip from Your Name, showing Taki with watery eyes, slightly messy black hair, and a curtain background with soft lighting that was almost identical visually and emotionally. For ARMY, this similarity was not merely about facial structure or hairstyle, but about an inner atmosphere that felt strikingly alike. It was as if Jungkook was not simply posing in front of the camera, but was playing the same emotion as the anime character, an emotion of searching, of longing for something not yet fully understood, of a destiny that feels close yet difficult to reach. The domino effect was inevitable. The post quoted an upload from the account at Rapperch that called Jungkook breathtaking, with the hashtag #JungkookSellKorea. And from there the discussion expanded even further. Reply after reply appeared, ranging from innocent questions that mistakenly mentioned another anime title, to emotional reactions in the form of crying emojis that seemed to represent unspoken feelings of fans. Although in terms of numbers this post had not yet reached millions of interactions, that was precisely where its uniqueness lay. This phenomenon proved that in the era of algorithms and big numbers, small details that are honest and emotional can still create a profound impact. So, why did this resemblance feel so strong and relevant? The answer cannot be separated from a broader context. Jungkook is not a stranger to the world of anime and Japanese pop culture. In several previous interviews, he had openly mentioned Your Name as one of the films he had watched and enjoyed. This fact added an almost cinematic layer of meaning to the comparison. Was this purely a visual coincidence, or a subconscious inspiration that emerged as Jungkook stood in front of the camera, allowing emotion to flow without realizing it? This question continued to echo without a definite answer, precisely because that uncertainty made it even more intriguing. The January 2026 edition of Elle Korea itself was indeed designed as a special issue. The collaboration with Chanel Beauty presented Jungkook in 9 cover variations, all photographed in Paris, a city often associated with romance, art, and timelessness. According to reports from Korean media such as OSEN, the photoshoot highlighted Jungkook in various spectrums of light, from warm sunlight to dark, mysterious backgrounds. Yet among all those concepts, it was the single photo with the simple white t-shirt that captured the greatest attention, as if proving that honest simplicity is often more powerful than carefully designed luxury. For ARMY, this moment felt like a Your Name scene materialized in the real world, a fated meeting between two universes that seemed different yet unexpectedly intersected. Jungkook, as a global musician, and Taki, as a fictional character, were brought together within the same emotional frame, triggering feelings of nostalgia, emotion, and admiration that are difficult to explain in simple words. And this is where the true surprise emerged. A magazine photo, which should have been merely part of a fashion campaign, instead transformed into an emotional mirror for millions of people, reminding them of stories about love, time, and identity that transcend the boundaries of medium. Is this merely a beautiful coincidence, or a symbol of how Jungkook continues to evolve into a cross-cultural figure capable of uniting music, fashion, and global emotional narratives? That question remains unanswered. Yet one thing is certain. In the moment when that photo was first seen, time seemed to stop, and the world of ARMY was reminded once again that Jungkook is not only an idol, but a phenomenon capable of reviving old emotions in an entirely new form. How could a fashion photoshoot conducted thousands of kilometers away from Seoul instead bring fans' collective memories back to a Japanese anime film released nearly a decade ago? This question continued to roll on as discussions about Jungkook and his resemblance to Taki Tachibana grew increasingly widespread. Paris, the city that served as the backdrop for Elle Korea's January 2026 edition, seemed to function as a silent stage where multiple layers of meaning converged: luxury fashion, the identity of a global star, and an emotional narrative that has long been embedded in the minds of Your Name viewers. Jungkook's photoshoot with Chanel Beauty was far from an ordinary project. It was a collaboration positioned from the outset as a representation of modern elegance and cross-generational appeal. Jungkook appeared in 9 cover variations, a number rarely granted to a single figure, signaling the immense symbolic value attached to him. Yet amid the luxury of Paris, the legendary fashion house, and the meticulously crafted artistic concept, public attention was drawn to something deeply human. Jungkook's expression, which appeared fragile, honest, and emotional. Korean media highlighted how this session captured Jungkook not merely as a brand face, but as a figure capable of bringing emotion to life through his gaze. In one of the now viral photos, the light comes from the side, gently dividing his face and creating soft shadows that emphasize his eyes and the lines of his expression. Cinematically, this lighting technique is often used to portray introspective moments, a visual approach that frequently appears in Makoto Shinkai's films, including Your Name. Unconsciously, this shared visual language created an emotional bridge between Jungkook and Taki, between the real world and the animated world. It is at this point that the discussion began to move from simply being similar to something deeper and more reflective. Many ARMY started to question whether Jungkook's appeal has always lain in his ability to present emotions that feel familiar, much like fictional characters who grow alongside their audience. Taki in Your Name is depicted as an ordinary teenager with existential anxiety, confusion about identity, and a longing for something he does not yet fully understand. Jungkook, despite living under global spotlight from a young age, has often shown the same side: self-discovery, self-reflection, and emotional honesty in both his works and his gestures. The fact that Jungkook is an anime fan further strengthens this narrative. He does not merely look like an anime character, but also grew up consuming the same pop culture as millions of his fans. When he once mentioned Your Name in an interview, the statement may have seemed trivial at the time. Yet now, in 2026, that fragment of information resurfaces, as if it were a small clue that had long been overlooked. Is it possible that the visual and emotional memory of the film influenced how Jungkook expressed himself in front of the camera? Or conversely, is Your Name so emotionally powerful that anyone who radiates inner honesty will inevitably remind us of that film? Fan reactions revealed a wide spectrum of emotions. Some were so touched that they wrote about how the photo reminded them of the first time they watched Your Name, of the emptiness felt after the film's credits rolled, of tears that fell without a clear reason. Others saw this moment as proof that Jungkook has transcended the boundaries of K-pop, becoming a global pop culture figure capable of speaking through a visual language that crosses mediums. Even the simple crying emojis shared by fans in the reply section felt more honest than long paragraphs, because the emotions that emerged were difficult to rationalize. Interestingly, all of this occurred in the midst of a transitional phase for BTS. Jungkook's return to public attention through Elle Korea was also interpreted as a subtle signal of a new phase for the group. In his latest interview, Jungkook teased the possibility of a full BTS comeback, a statement that immediately ignited hope and speculation. In this context, the resemblance to Your Name felt even more symbolic. The film speaks of separation, distance, and eventual reunion, a narrative that emotionally feels very close to the journey of BTS and ARMY over the past few years. This is where the emotional surprise reached its peak. What initially was merely a visual comparison transformed into a collective reflection on time, loss, and hope. Jungkook in Elle Korea was no longer seen simply as a model or an idol, but as a canvas onto which fans projected their own stories of waiting, of longing, and of believing that reunions are always possible. Like Taki running through time and space to find Mitsuha, ARMY felt themselves in a phase of waiting for the next great moment. Were all these meanings intentionally designed by the creative team behind the photoshoot? Or were they purely the result of spontaneous interaction between a work of art and its audience? There is no definitive answer, and perhaps none is necessary. It is precisely within that uncertainty that its appeal lies. Jungkook, Paris, Chanel, Elle Korea, and Your Name met in an unplanned moment that nevertheless felt perfectly aligned, as if pulled together by the same thread of fate. And as the discussion continued, one realization began to surface in many minds. Jungkook does not merely represent the present, but also nostalgia, memory, and cross-generational emotion. He is a mirror where various stories meet, just as Your Name continues to live on in the memories of its viewers. Then, if this is only the beginning, what emotional surprises will emerge when Jungkook steps into the next chapter of his career and life? The next chapter may offer even more surprising clues. Can a visual resemblance transform into a larger cultural symbol? Or are we witnessing a moment when an idol truly transcends the boundaries between reality and fiction? This question has grown stronger as conversations about Jungkook in Elle Korea refuse to fade, even as days pass. The photograph continues to circulate, be reshared, analyzed, and felt, as if it holds a hidden message not yet fully revealed. This is where Jungkook stands, at the crossroads between the real world and the imagined one, between music, fashion, and the emotional narratives that have shaped an entire generation. For many ARMY, the resemblance between Jungkook and Taki Tachibana is not merely an aesthetic coincidence. It is read as a reflection of the life journey of a young artist who grew up under global spotlight, yet still carries a longing for things that are simple and meaningful. Taki is a character who questions his identity, drifts amid emotions that are difficult to explain, and ultimately finds meaning through connection with another person. Jungkook, through various interviews in his solo works, has often shown a similar side: emotional honesty, vulnerability, and a desire to continue growing as a human being, not merely as a star. This phenomenon also highlights the power of nostalgia in modern pop culture. Your Name was released in 2016, during the early years when BTS began stepping onto the global stage. Many fans who grew alongside BTS's music also grew alongside that film. When these two symbols meet within a single visual frame, long-buried memories inevitably resurface. This is not only about Jungkook or Taki, but about the past, about who we were when we first encountered both of them, and about how time has changed us. In this context, Jungkook's photo becomes a kind of emotional portal, connecting the past and the present in a single breath. From an academic cultural perspective, this moment is compelling because it demonstrates how audiences actively construct meaning. There was no official statement from Elle Korea or Chanel citing Your Name as an inspiration, yet fan interpretations have become a crucial part of the narrative itself. In the digital era, the meaning of a work is no longer fully controlled by its creators. It lives, grows, and evolves through audience response. Jungkook, with all the symbolism attached to him, becomes the perfect medium for this process. Furthermore, this phenomenon reinforces Jungkook's position as a cross-cultural icon. He is a Korean singer who becomes the face of a French fashion house, photographed in Paris, then compared to a Japanese anime character by fans from around the world. In a single moment, geographical and cultural boundaries seem to dissolve. This is the face of 21st century pop culture globalization, where identity is fluid and meaning is formed through cross-media encounters. Yet perhaps the most emotional aspect of all is the recurring sense of fate expressed by fans. Your Name is a story about red threads connecting two souls, even when time and space keep them apart. When ARMY described this resemblance as a fated meeting, they are not only speaking about Jungkook and Taki, but also about their own relationship with BTS. It is a relationship built through distance, screens, and time, yet one that feels deeply real and personal. Ultimately, whether this resemblance was intentional or not becomes less relevant. What matters more is the emotional impact it has created. Jungkook in Elle Korea has become more than just a magazine cover. He has become a symbol of how art works, silent, yet speaking, still yet moving. And like the final scene of Your Name, when two characters finally turn to one another and ask, "Have we met before?" ARMY may feel the same when gazing at that photograph. It is a simple question, yet one heavy with meaning, echoing long after the magazine pages are closed. Beyond that moment, this phenomenon also invites a deeper reflection on how modern idols function as narrative figures. Jungkook is not only consumed as a musician or visual icon, but as a story in motion, one that fans follow, interpret, and emotionally invest in over time. His image becomes a shared text, open to reading and rereading, shaped by personal memories and collective experiences. In this sense, the comparison to Your Name is not accidental but almost inevitable, because both Jungkook and the film occupy similar emotional spaces within popular culture. As the world continues to move forward at an accelerating pace, moments like this offer a pause, a brief suspension of time where people are allowed to feel, remember, and connect. A single photograph becomes a meeting point of eras, cultures, and emotions, reminding us that art does not need to be loud to be powerful. Sometimes all it takes is a quiet gaze, a soft light, and a shared memory to create a resonance that lingers far beyond the moment itself.